All right, everybody. Islam, we're going to start class now. All right. Islam? All right. Run. All right. Welcome to Moorish Heritage. We start our class every Wednesday by reading chapter 25 of the Holy Quran, divinely prepared by the divinely prepared. I'm going to read it, and if you are in agreement with it, after I finish reading, affirm by saying Islam. Ye are the children of one Father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother has given you sex. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers and sisters, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thine own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him out. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole nation, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. All right, Islam. All right, I'm hoping I'm going to get a text by listening to myself, and I sound pretty good coming over the air, but I hope I get a text letting me know it's still all right. Anybody, do we have a marker? I need a marker. Oh, wonderful. You got the eraser too? Can we get just like maybe a damp cloth, and that should be good. How many people listened to the broadcast last night? Oh, my. Thank you. I was trying to get to the dollar store to get a pack of these, and what I tell you, I'm father of North, and man, I do not want these to have yesterday. And I didn't leave until to come here today, so I didn't get the dry erase. All right, so I was hoping to, let's see, key messages. Hopefully I sound good and gooder. Great. All right. I was hoping that I could transfer some of my notes to my phone. The phones are really deep nowadays. I got so many PDFs on this thing, it's ridiculous. But I wasn't able to. But I want to do something a little bit different today because, one of the things that we were trying to talk about last night, and we have talked about it in the past, is this whole birthright redemption thing. How many people have heard about that? That's all? Come on. You guys didn't hear about take your birth certificate? Oh, wait a minute. Go down and get a certified copy of the birth certificate, and then and then you take it to the Secretary of the State, and you have them do some sort of authenticated. You heard about it. And then you send it to the Secretary of State down in Washington, D.C., and they apostille it, and then you send it somewhere else and tell them that, transfer your money to Taiwan, the Republic of Taiwan, or something like that. Use it introduce and discharge you and buy stuff. Except for value? Except for pay off your debt? You got debt? How you got debt? But see, that's the whole thing. The prophet said, if I can just get you to think you through yourself, I'll let you add here to say, you messed around, free yourself like that. Just for the thing. Right? Because here's the thing. You have some accepting value of a debt. But you're in the principle. So how does the principle ever do your debt? You're in the creditor. How do you ever do your debt? Right? It was 31. He studied the American Constitution, organic, 17 seminar proof, and he did 10 or so. The people of the government was looking there, he said, every single one of the popular times, no one accepted the place. It was the assignment that everybody was done was to take the letter, the first 17 analyze it, and say the Well, you know what? I you have bottomed out. You are very. Am I still faint? I probably, because I was away from. All right. All right. Well, I hope I'm sounding. Well, wait a minute. I hope. Okay. Hold on still. I hope I'm sounding better now. Am I sounding better now? Yeah. Moving around. And the phone was there, and I said, all right. Huh? I saw 8. All right. It's, you know what, I think I didn't think I turned the volume. Somebody even tried to call me. You did. All right. No, it didn't even ring. You have bottomed out. All right. Well, I hope all the texters can text. Oh, wait a minute. My Bluetooth disconnected. That's interesting. Oh, you know why? Here we go. That's better. Is that better? I must have moved too far away and it disconnected. Good night. All right, let me continue. All right. Well, okay, so where was I? Yeah, everybody got to wake up. There's so much stuff that's happening, so much stuff that's popping off. There was an article online, and I was trying to print it, but they're making it so that you can't print stuff offline no more. Did you know that? Yeah. I was trying to print it because I wanted to bring it here so that people would see it and we could read along together, but I got to figure out another way to get it. But it was about the mayor's son of one of those counties near Atlantic City, and his son, I think, had some sort of an accident while texting, and they didn't give him a ticket, they didn't fine him, they didn't arrest him, nothing. They just let him go. And everybody was like, oh, that's favoritism, that's favoritism. And I was like, no, it's not. Well, why isn't it favoritism? Okay. All of the finance that they gather pays the mayor's salary, right? Some of that finance pays his salary. So now they're going to take some finance from the son that goes to pay his salary? Do you follow me?
Right.
So now that's like a wash. In accounting, that's a wash, right? You see why it's not favoritism? But a lot of people miss that. Do you get it? How many people get it? Raise your hand. All right. How many people don't get it? Because I can explain it better. You don't get it? All right. Did you raise your hand or did I?
I raised my hand.
Okay. Tell me how you don't get it. Okay. Let me just put it this way. All right. Let me use one of your phones. Give me your phone. Okay. Let's make believe this is some money. All right. Now we go and we fleece the people in a specific area, and from that fleecing, you get your paycheck. Right? Now this is your son. He does something, and according to the policy, he's supposed to get a ticket and pay. Right? But your money is his money. So we don't take the money that you're going to get anyway and pay a ticket to give it back to you? Oh, do you get it? That's why they didn't give him a ticket.
Wow.
That's why they didn't give him a ticket. You're going to give him money anyways as a paycheck. You don't need to take it from the son because it's going to turn up in his paycheck anyway. Right?
Oh.
Slick is what it is. Very slick is what it is. Back in the day, they would call that extortion. And it's still extortion. If you look it up in the Black Plural 4th Edition Dictionary, you're actually looking, how many people remember that movie, Gangs of New York? How many people saw it? How many people didn't see it? Oh, y'all need to go see it. What? You? What?
I heard you talk about the Atlantic County thing that was out of my area. I just wanted to add one thing.
all right?
Mhm.
We're doing it. In one hand, it's right, and in another hand, it's not. I don't know if I don't have my mic on.
Oh.
It's okay. That's okay. I'll just stand right here. And the reason is because when that accident occurred, the, quote, complainant that he hit decided that they were not going to make a complaint. So you have to have a complainant, a flesh and blood complainant. So from that perspective, they had no other choice but to let him go because you're not complaining. The injured party said, I don't have a complaint. That's true law.
That is true law.
That's true law.
But they don't normally do that, right?
No. Of course they don't. I'm saying it to show you that that's true law. On the other hand, they usually would charge. So let's just say the complainant said, I don't have a complaint. You didn't give me whiplash. I'm not complaining about the damage to my car. We'll work it out, right? But what about that charge for texting while driving? Where did that come from? You see, he should at least got that if he didn't get the complainant, right? To prove and show to you what's true law, how they really do it. Most of the times, they don't need a complainant because texting while driving, there's no injured party anyway, ever. So it's not law. I just wanted to bring that point up.
Yes. It's not law. She's right. It's not law. However, they proved also in that scenario that it's not law. It's discretionary. It's however that employee feels at that time. And all of you know what I'm talking about, right? How many times have you?
Just to add, but what do they usually do? Because Jamal just reminded me. What they'll say is the state versus you.
Exactly.
But the state's a corporation and it can't first. Okay.
Right. And a county corporation can't speak on behalf of the state. That's like Walmart writing you up a ticket and then saying it's the state. We're submitting it on behalf of the state. Where are you submitting it to? Not even in a state court. It's in a Walmart court. I'm just using the analogy because if you go up on the World Wide Web, they're not even shy about letting you know that they are a corporation. They give you their they say that we were founded or established on a certain date. That's the start of a company. And then they will say it was incorporated on such and such a date. That's when they incorporated. It's right on the website. They're not even trying to hide it. And then they got the nerve to say it's government. It's not government. Why isn't it government? But what kind of documentation can you show to prove that that's not government? What? There you go. The American Constitution is the establishment and authority vested in a county anywhere in the American corporation. The American Constitution, sorry. is the authority to operate as, quote, government by a county corporation documented anywhere in the American Constitution, 1791. It's not, right? Well, in that Constitution, it says that there are certain ways that a state can be established, but, well, no, it's actually by Congress, but that's not Congress sitting in those seats nowadays. But here's the thing. It's in the Constitution, Article 4, it says that no state can establish another state within that state. Now, they think that people are so asleep, and we, for the most part, many of us are, because many of us don't even know what the definition of the state is, right? How many people know what the definition of a state is? Well, I can't remember word for word, but it is a group of people in an area, but it's all by agreement, in an area who all agree to be of the same body politic, have the same customs, same culture, That's what a state is. Well, this is a state right here, right in the Trojan state. Actually, the word state is derived from status.
Okay. And
status would be your nationality. And see, most people don't get it. When we talk about nationality, they got this thing so twisted. They think that your nationality is German or Irish or Washita or, God forbid, black or Negro, African American. They will say that, that's your nationality. No, it's not. That's all nationality is saying is, who is your family? And see, they got us, many of us thinking that, okay, if you come from the corporation they call Jamaica, or you come from the corporation they call Germany, or you come from the corporation they call the Philippines, y'all are not family because y'all are not from the same area. But we are all family because we all look alike.
So the Naturalization Act,
1790, the Naturalization Act of 1790 is a whole other subject matter. But I will say this, because I went into the congressional records and looked, because you got all these people talking about, in order for you to be a Moor, you got to be naturalized. No, you don't. If you read the Naturalization Act of it came about in 1790. What was going on in 1790? What was going on? Around that time frame, what was going on? No, let's not talk about immigration, because immigration wasn't even a topic. Everybody knew their nationality, where they came from. They wasn't trying to change it. And guess what? The Naturalization Act is not even about changing your nationality. It's about protection. No, it's not about your status. Your status is your nationality. Naturalization is about your protection. That's why the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1786 was written to bring the modern Europeans under the protection of the Moors. It didn't change their nationality.
No, that was for commerce.
No, the reason that they came over here under the treaty between Morocco and Great Britain was about commerce. But then, because of the treatment the horrendous treatment that they received from the brutish Moors, which, by the way, is Moors, just like you and me, the horrendous treatment, it was such double-cross, undercross. They didn't have a pot to piss in, for real. And because of that, they said, well, I'm going to break from you people. I thought we was family. I thought we were going to have the same constitutional protections as our brethren over in Great Britain. And by their actions, they let them know, I don't know who you thought you was a family kin to. They don't go like that. So because they're over here establishing all these companies under the British crown and wasn't getting no protection, wasn't even being treated fairly, you didn't know somebody was going to come and kidnap you in the night and take you back to Great Britain, throw you in a cell, and then have somebody upstairs in the court speaking on your behalf that ain't even come and talk to you. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Happening today, right?
We did enslave them back then. That's what the title term was.
Mm-hmm. The British Moors treated the modern Europeans horrendously. There was so much double-crossing going on. They show you that in The Last of the Mohegans. There's a scene in there where this modern European comes in and they ask him, will you fight for us, Great Britain? Will you fight for us? And he says, sure, no problem. Just let me go home if there's trouble around my family. My family needs me to protect them. And they were like, oh, sure, no problem. As soon as he was out of earshot, they was like, forget about you. And subsequently, his whole family was massacred. And he couldn't go there and assist at all. So there was a whole lot of double crossing going on big time. So because of this lack of trust and not honoring the agreements, the modern Europeans actually made a deal or came to the Moors of Al-Murak. It's right in the congressional records, came to the Moors of Al-Murak and said, look, will you protect us? And they said, in order for you to come under the protection of the Moorish family here, you have to declare your independence from the Moorish family over in Great Britain. Hence, the Declaration of Independence. And many people have never read the Declaration of Independence, because if you did, they give you a hint of the treatment that they suffered under. It was crazy, because this happened in 1774. How many people remember the sweatshops? Early 1900s. The sweatshops, they had all the children working in the factories and everything. Right? You heard about it, right? Well, guess what? The same thing was happening in 1774. It was just basic horrendous treatment to employees. That's what it was. Because they said, look, y'all can come over here. They took them out of the prisons of Great Britain. They said, look, y'all can come over here and work in the Americas, or we'll chop your head off, torture you, all kind of manner of things. I mean, they had the most unthinkable torture apparatuses. They came over here. They worked these companies for the British Moors, and they expected to be treated as equals, because that's what they was promised. But that didn't happen. So they changed their allegiances from the British Moors to the Moors of Al-Murak. But in order for them to truly come under the protection of Morocco, there had to be a treaty. Right? Has to be a treaty. We helped them to establish a nation. Hillary said that in 2012 in the Benjamin Franklin room. She said that we helped them to establish themselves as a nation and recognize them. That's right in the Articles of Association and the Articles of Confederation, where they were created and styled as the United States of America. But there was no treaty between the United States of America and Morocco. There was a treaty between Great Britain, or Morocco, and Great Britain. And that treaty in 1786 that was drafted was so that they can be able to stay over here and engage in commerce freely under the protection of the Moors. This is why George Washington says in that letter to the Sultan, I trust we will be of use to you. And he talks about the regular payments of marks that are supposed to be paid. That would be tribute. It's all there in historical records that they don't teach in the schools, so-called schools, right? It's all there. So how do we get to where we are now? The history of our familia is very extensive. You cannot study. You are not African, you are not black, you're not African American, you're not colored, you're not Negro. But the only way that you're going to find out your whole family lineage is to study world history, because we wasn't concentrated in one area. We were everywhere. What about Nigeria? What do you mean, can you do Nigeria? Well, Nigerian is a family name. It's not a location. Just like Washington. Washington is a derivative of Washita. This land never had a name. The names that the lands have now, you have to understand the Berlin conferences, how the landmass that they call Africa today got those names. But that's not the name of the land. And when they refer to the people as Nigerian or Zimbabwean or whatever you want to call them, they're talking about family names. But their nationality is Moor. And you will never, ever, ever talk to somebody from that landmass and they call themselves African. Never. That is an insult. That's like you just denationalize them. But you can't be African American either, can you? Because Africa is a continent and America is a continent. If you're going to be anything as more proper, you can be an American, but there is a distinction. You got American citizen, which is your modern Europeans, and you got American national, which is the Aboriginal indigenous people of this land. And that's not, and it ain't speaking, that's documented, already recorded. Ivan Van Sertima, put it down, all right? It's United Nations, put it down. That's why for our people to go to the United States nations talking about, I need you to recognize me, you might as well say, again. Because they don't already recognize you. They already acknowledged you. You're the oldest people of the land. They don't already acknowledge that. They don't need to recognize you. No Johnny come lately needs to recognize you. They acknowledge, you're the oldest people of the land. That's why you are Aboriginal, indigenous to the land. But people hear Aboriginal, indigenous to the land, and they think, my drawing is horrendous. They think when they say that, I know let's make them believe this is America. They say, Aboriginal, indigenous to America. But did you say you was Aboriginal, indigenous to America, or did you say you was Aboriginal, indigenous to the land? All right, so that means that instead of you being this, you are this. Aboriginal, indigenous to planet Earth, right? So why are we always limiting ourselves? We have got to get out of this mental slavery. So, can you turn this board? I know I'm not going to be able to budge this. Yes, I am. Can you turn that long way? I'll put this behind here because I'm going to need every... Oh, and can you move it over a little? Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, let me finish talking about that because a lot of Moors talk about that, but they don't know about that. Let me put it in perspective for you. Back in 1790, you had Moors of Great Britain fighting, and you had Moors of Morocco, America, this land, fighting. All right? So when the peace came, or when the fighting stopped.
Fighting each other.
Yes. That's what they call the Civil War. People think it's between the British Moors and modern Europeans. No, that was a fight between families because it was about commodities. That was a fight between families. So in the Naturalization Act of 1790, in the first sentence, it says that the Naturalization Act applies to free white persons. Free white persons. What is free white persons?
Anyone that's not Caucasian, North African.
That's right.
Russian.
Who would that be?
Immigrants.
No, baby. Don't be using that word because then you get confused. You start confusing people. If free white person excludes Caucasians, who are we talking about? Moors. From what area? The Naturalization Act is for the Moors here. And they're inviting into the family Moors from where?
Russian immigrants.
Where? Great Britain.
Okay. So we just had this discussion.
Who is we?
The Moors.
What Moors? Us who? Come on with it.
There's no excuse for my lack of knowledge.
Yes, there is, because you were put in mental slavery intentionally. There is every excuse. That's why we're here.
Gotta wake up first.
Okay. My point being is that I'm trying to establish that when I hear people say black, I automatically go to the Naturalization Act to show them that you're free white person. But you say 1790, and I'm reverting from 1870.
What's 1870? That's all right, take your time.
July 14th, 1890.
1890, is that like also, because you know they did, the original naturalization was in 1790, then they added on to it. They didn't rewrite it.
No, they didn't rewrite
it.
They
added on.
They added on. That's what.
All right, now I can tell you, because I taught the whole thing because I was so sick and tired of people talking to me about the Naturalization Act, and when I read it, I was like, these people ain't never read the Naturalization Act, because if they did, they would not talk such foolishness.
My confusion is just, you have the Naturalization Act, and I didn't know it was the protection of your body.
No, the Naturalization Act is not for modern Europeans. The Naturalization Act is, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to break it down in just simple terms. You can go research it. We're going to do a class on it because we're going to put this to bed, or try to. The Naturalization Act, basically it is saying, look, you British from 1790, you British Moors and the Moors of Morocco, we've been fighting. We need to stop fighting now. So not quite naturally, because a lot of British Moors established business over here, they want to come over here, they lived over here. A lot of the big houses, the big fancy houses that are down in the southern area of North America, those were built by Moors of Great Britain. That's why the architect is similar. That great architect is similar. Those big columns and all, that's us. Just another family over in Great Britain. So quite frankly, there were Moors that wanted to come over here and just stay, wanted to live. And we do that. You got Moors of Great Britain that went to live in France. You got Moors of France that went into Russia. You got Moors of Russia that went to live in Great Britain. We did that. It doesn't change your nationality, though. So what the Naturalization Act said is, you Moors of Great Britain, y'all can come on over here. We will adopt you into the family, meaning we will protect you. All right? But y'all can't come over here if you participated in the fighting as a soldier against the Moors over here. That's in the Naturalization Act.
So what I've been reading, I've been incorrect explaining.
Well, I don't know which one you read. What was you reading? Well, what year is this?
1870. I'm sorry. That's what I.
Naturally given to it when first used in free white person refers to a Naturalization Act. Well, that would be correct still, because see, the free white person, as it is used in the Naturalization Act, is only talking about the British Moors.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Well, you didn't know that. You know why you didn't know that? Because you didn't read the Naturalization Act.
Why would they call them white people?
Because a free white person is not a complexion; it's a status.
My thing was about the actual friendship treaty.
Yeah.
That was 1786.
Yeah.
You have the Naturalization Act for protection of Moors.
Well, no. That Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1786, that wasn't for our protection. That was for modern Europeans. And that's documented in the congressional records. In the congressional records, it is written how the modern Europeans came to the British Moors and said, can you protect us? Because, it's all in there, because they would be sailing on the seas trying to gather cargo and sell it for profit, and our family in other areas of planet Earth would pluck them off of the sea, steal their boats, take their goods, sell their cargo and them as commodities. Now, That's right in the congressional record. Wait a minute. And so that's why you will see a lot of interchange after 1786 when once the modern Europeans go up to the soul and said, yo, man, we got snatched off the sea over in Barbary and Tripoli. You need to go tell them Moors over there something. And the Sultan would send a messenger, and the Moors over there would be like, oh, my bad. I didn't get the memo. Let them go. It's like, you know what? We're going through the Treaty of Peace and Friendship 2 weeks ago, I think. We did the introduction and salutation because there's a lot of information right there. A lot of people have questions about the dates. You know, we say, well, there's 580 years added to the Moorish calendar, which gives you the Christian calendar. And everybody, well, how does that happen? How do you know? Where do you get verification? Read the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. It's right there. You do the math. 1200 and 1784, 4, 5, or 6 will give you roughly about 586 year difference. Here's your proof. 1200. It says it right in the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. It says this was signed on the year 1200, Moorish calendar. And then underneath it says Christian calendar year 1786. 1784, because the first treaty was signed in 1784, then there was another portion in 1785, and then finally in 1786. So 17, that's about, you know, a couple years difference, yes. So that the modern Europeans can be written into history because they didn't exist. So that means, like, when you talk about, like, how many people have heard of the Secret Treaty of Verona? Do you know that modern Europeans is not a part of that? Not a part of that. No, that was written in 1200. Everybody knows about modern Europeans until supposedly 1492, right? And nobody knows about modern Europeans doing nothing until about 1492. That was supposedly Christopher Columbus, who was, you know, a scandalous individual, you know, because, you know, I'm telling you, you got to go listen to, go read and listen to Ivan Van Sertima. He will tell you about the information he discovered about the Christopher Columbus. He did such excellent research that the United States of America personnel operating as the Congress went into the records and changed the word, removed the word discovered, because Ivan Van Sertima went there and put it down, showed the unsubstantiated proof that Christopher Columbus didn't discover jack. I'm trying to get a copy of the transcript because I know I have listened. How many people have listened to Ivan Van Sertima? Man, let me tell you, when you listen to, at least this was my experience, when you listen to Ivan Van Sertima, you're going to have to take a break for about a week to get back to yourself, because you will have the same kind of passion that Ivan had. You will go in. Ivan, I-V-A-N, Sertima, it's an S. Ooh, let me not use the wrong magic marker, but, okay, so tell me, what color appears better, red, blue, or green? When I'm writing on the board. Red? All right. All right. So this is what I want to do. This is some, you ready? Ready? This is some class participation that we're going to be doing today. Did I leave my phone over here? No. We're going to be doing some class participation. Okay, you want to do that? No, you can keep it in there. All righty. And then, hold on a minute. All turn this off. That's when people switching over. Hope I can do this right. Am I doing this right? No. You're in here watching. Where's the clip? No. Okay, wait. All righty. Let me just make sure I sound good. You want to mute? All right. Wow. Okay, put that on. All right. Cool. Hold on a minute. And let me plug this up and make sure that that is still charging. It is. All right. My magic marker. All righty. Let me see, where am I going to stick this thing? All right. Now, I had an idea, and I needed you guys to participate in order to do this. All right. Whew. I'm not sure if we'll be able to complete it today, but I'm hoping to start it today. Roz, are you still in? Roz in here? Where's she at? Oh, all right. I was going to tell her to listen, but her phone is up here with me. What I'm going to do, what I'm going to attempt to do, can I have this moved up here, closer to me? I want to try and create a trail from birth to as far as we can get. My hope is, yeah, that's good, from birth to death. I don't think we're going to make it to death today, but we can start, right? What happens when a child is born? What's the first thing that happens? Well, that's, yeah, true. How do you know it's legal? Yes. I want to try and take us through a scenario from birth to death of a divine being. So once they're born, what is the first thing, what is the first so-called, what might be called an adhesion contract that is created? Birth certificate. Now, birth certificate, now, it's really not B-I-R-T-H. It's really B-E-R-T-H. Now, who creates this birth certificate? Who creates the birth certificate? Who? Where's that? Really? You went to where? You went to the hospital and got a birth certificate? Do we have a mic on? You got mic? Okay. Who wants to answer the question of where birth certificates come from? Really? That's where you went? I'm asking. Where's the vital statistics? Are you sure? Are you sure? County. Right? Does everybody agree with the sister? How do you know that? How do you know that? Did you go there and get one? You have any children? How do you know that? Can I have the mic, please? How do you know that? Where did you go? No, it wasn't a courthouse you went to. I know that. What was it called? What was it called? Vital records or vital statistics, and that was in what? Was that by the state? What was that? Yeah, but that township.
I know it was.
All right, so that would be called a what?
The register.
New York is not a state, not New York. It's not New York State that you're going to. It's New York City, right? And what is New York City? But New York City, we already know from our studies is what? But we know that because it's called what, really? It's called New York City, but what's really confusing about New York City is it's New York City and it's a county. Right? That's like real tricky. That's like, oh, you're New York City and a county? So we can say that the birth certificate is coming from the county, right? I know for a fact because I have children, and that's where I went. The state capital is usually, a county. You will go to a county. How many people think that you're going to Washington, D.C. to get this birth certificate? How many people thought that's where it was coming from? Come on now. I heard some people shouting it out, talking about the Department of Commerce and something or something, another. But on that paper, it doesn't say anything about that, right? It doesn't list anything in Washington, D.C. or nothing. They might put at the top state of whatever, but it's the county. And I can tell you, for a fact, it's the county. So, we can say that these birth certificates come from the county, right? What is the county? You already know that. It's a corporation, and the corporation and the county is a corporation. Now, I want to ask a question. How's that fraud? What did you say? Come on, speak up. I love that. Say it again.
How's one word?
Hello? Oh, give me that microphone so that. Yes, brother, got it. Say that loud.
How is Walmart giving out birth certificates?
That's right. It's just a corporation. That's right. It's just a corporation. So, how is this done? Where in the Constitution does it authorize a corporation to register a flesh and blood being? Why is that required? Have I never asked? Don't forget, I never asked either. Yeah, but they told us, maybe we never asked. What's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of registering a flesh and blood being? Right? Now, here's the other thing. Now, first, in this area, this corporation, this county corporation is called what? And we know from our research that this particular corporation was chartered originally when? 1686. By who? Great Britain. when they say you must register, you must go and get a birth certificate from New York City, what did they just say? What did they just say? No, honey, you got to think lawful here. I'll be using this nice thing. What would you tell me to do with this? Oh, all right. Okay, so when they say you've got to have a birth certificate, what did they just say? No. They just said, what is this called? No. What is that called? Say it again. Say that again. Human trafficking. Everybody says, oh, I want to go modify this so I can discharge that, and I want to buy this, and I'm going to get rid of the big house, and this is evidence of human trafficking. That's what this is. So now, if we somehow label your international operation as the now owner of this, what did we just say? What? No, you didn't authorize Jack. You now look to be a co-conspirator of your own enslavement and participation in human trafficking. So now you want to work in the United Nations, they engage in human trafficking. Show me the documentation. Here's the birth certificate, and my CCY, and my trust, and see, I captured the strong and see, it's mine now. The prophet said, study. These people ain't slow. I mean, they are slow, but they are tricksters. Now you're running up to the United Nations talking about, they traded me on the stock market. But you really was the owner of the stock. To trade yourself. You know how ridiculous that is? Prophet said, if I can just get you to think. What's the next questionable contract? Because these are not contracts. No, what comes next? Social Security. So now we got the Social Security. Most people don't even know. It's Social Security account number. All right? Where did that come from? No, it doesn't. But that was a good step.
It comes from where they have your account connected to the birth certificate?
I see you've been studying some modern European patriot crap. Where does this Social Security number come from? Where did you go to apply for this? Social Security Administration, right? Social Security Administration, right? And what is that? A corporation. Now, what is the purpose of the Social Security number? I don't want to know about no patriot stuff now. I'm just asking. No. You've been reading that patriot crap too. That patriot stuff is designed to move you away from the Constitution and get you to thinking or chasing after the carrot. You know what the carrot is? Federal Reserve notes. You're like dogs at a racetrack. For real. It's a trap. You tell me you're chasing after Federal Reserve notes, that's a trap. Because the prophet said there will come a day when you will see a $20 bill on the ground and you will step over it. Why? Exactly. It ain't worth nothing. Why is it not worth nothing? No. That's a United States of America system ain't got jack to do with great skill. Why is it worth nothing to a Moor proper? Which y'all don't know your side to the land by birth? Did you ever use a Federal Reserve note? Never. So what he's saying is there will come a day when you see a $20 bill on the ground and you will step over it. That is the day when you truly know without a shadow of a doubt that I am a Moor. This is my vast estate. My ancestors already provided for me, took care of me, put it down for me, wrote the law for me, protected me, and the only thing they told me to do was study it and make sure I enforce it. So when I see our brothers and sisters chasing after Federal Reserve notes, that lets me know they don't know. Because you ain't never needed a Federal Reserve note, which is under the jurisdiction of the United States of America. Is the United States of America your government? Why is it not your government? The United States of America was created and styled as such for the modern Europeans. That's it, that's all. That's all. That's why Article 1 says we can never be owner of it. We predated it by millions and millions of eons. Islam.
Their government is not the government for this land anyway.
No, it's not. Well, here's the thing. I want to really rephrase that. Their government is our government. All right? They don't have a government because when they came over here, they were under the protection, so they thought, of the British family. And really, all of this is just about protecting the family. That's all it is. It's about protecting the family. And we adopted in the modern Europeans, and we said, look, as long as you honor this estate and this family, you're protected. That's why we got the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. But the minute you break that peace, it's over. I mean, our ancestors wrapped it up so well so that the peace will be maintained here. It is so ridiculous that nobody knows it. The very thing they went to such lengths to protect us from is visited on us. You know why? Because of our greed. Because of our greed and our ignorance and our lack of love of each other. That's why these things are happening to us, because we're family. That's all there is family. What's wrong? Get money out of your mind and think family. Because, look, this is what you need to look. You know, when I was a young girl, they called this land the land flowing with milk and honey. You remember? Well, I literally thought that I was going to see milk and honey running down the street. I did. I thought that this was the place for peace. And when I was growing up, it appeared to be until I became an adult and I realized there's some craziness going on here. But because I am a woman, that's law number one. I am a Libra, and that's law number two. All right, so I am the law. I am the law. So because of those dynamics, I could never, ever take injustice, even when I was a little girl, got a lot of ass whoopings because of it. I took it. I didn't care because I just cannot stand injustice. Came here with that in my soul like a coffin, like a nail in a coffin. I cannot stand injustice for anybody. I don't like it when there is unfairness. I don't like when anyone is taken advantage of. So you know, my astrology chart is on point. Much as I don't like to do it, I never wanted to sit in the pit off it. I wanted to sit down and listen.
This is very important. The teacher will appear when the student is ready because the student becomes the teacher.
Yes. Yes.
How can you teach your children anything if you don't know yourself?
Exactly.
Because you can only be what you know. If you don't know, you speak it.
Exactly. Now, let's get back to our trail, all right? We now have, we got the birth certificate down pat. We're clear on the birth certificate fraud, right? Why is this? Why is this fraud, human trafficking, and, I'm not going to say it's treason because the Union States and the feds do not participate in that. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, yeah, there's a law that says that you have to go and get a birth certificate. That is partially true. In 1921, there was what was called the Maternity Act, but it was the Shepherd something Act. I can't remember the name. It was the Shepherd something Act. But we used to call it the Maternity Act. Now, the reason, of course, they will never do nothing to protect the people. There's always some serious reason for it. But they created this under the guise of creating a venue where women can go and get proper maternity care, and the children would get cared for, and they would get a birth certificate, and their health care would be followed because the birth rate was very high. The death rate for infants was very high. Of course, that wasn't our babies, right? Because we can swing in the field and drop the baby, keep on moving, and the baby will help us pick the crop, right? And that wasn't our babies, because our babies will be living through some, strenuous times. That wasn't us. But they created it to benefit everybody. And I want to say 1929, they repealed it, but they didn't tell everybody. They do that a lot. For example, a lot of people suffer from their whole tax fraud, but most people don't know that in 1861, Lincoln enacted that tax for the members of the United States of America based on head count, and it was supposed to be proportioned, all right, based on the membership, and it had a time span. See, most people don't even know that. They can't influence the tax on you and never give it an end date. They can't do that. And it has to be for a purpose. And everybody is supposed to know about it. And back in 1861, 63, 5, one of them numbers, he did just that. He imposed that tax on the people to finance the war. And it was portioned. And you read in the congressional record, it had a start date of 1863, I think. 2 years later, it had an end date. But because they know we don't study, they can say, oh, yeah, Lincoln enacted the tax law, and it's going on to this day. No, he didn't. But they count on us not to study, because one thing they know about us is these are passionate people. We will cuss and fight before we pick up a book and study. And we've got to change that, because that's how they take advantage of us. But they ain't just taking advantage of us anymore. They're taking advantage of everybody. Because he gave it to me. He gave it to me. He did. Him. No, I'm not. It's off. It's off. Okay, so the reason that the birth certificate is a fraud and it is absolutely treason is because there is nothing in the Constitution that says a corporation established initially in 1861 under the King of Great Britain can compel the people to go and register their birth, baby, their flesh and blood being, and receive a birth certificate. There's no law that says that. You want to know what else? Where's my man? My computer man. You look up the definition of certificate. I got it on my phone. Oh, I'm going to put this over here. My phone is charging. Can you look up certificate? Black Law Force? You got it? All right. While he's looking up there, let me just say this. How many people, you know why this record, I'm telling you, the prophet ain't never said a lie. He said, get you the same thing, you free yourself. What other kind of certificate are people compelled to get that's very similar to the birth certificate? No. 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 It's for property. No. I want to do something that's more common because I know everybody in here has not owned a house in their lifetime, but almost everybody has owned a car. All right? Now, right? Well, you can't do it. Well, I asked you. Which was the best one? All right. So what's similar to a birth certificate? What do they call it? Certificate. Certificate of title. And it applies to an automobile. What's the word for certificate? Oh, keep looking it up. Okay. Thank you. All right, so very similar to a birth certificate. Now, what does this certificate of title on an automobile say? What is the presumption? No. Most people miss this. It's glaring. I'm surprised all you ills and days don't see it. What does this certificate of title for an automobile presume? No. No. Come on, you L's and A's. What is an L and A? It's a title, right? So a certificate of title presumes what? Y'all want me to tell you? A certificate of title, just like a certificate of title for an automobile and a house, presumes that there is a title somewhere. Right? How many people have bought a house in their lifetime? Come on. Have you ever seen a title? You ever seen a title? You know why you will never see a title? Because in the Constitution, it says that states cannot issue titles. That's why you will never see a title. All these years from 1900, they've been selling homes, through the mortgage fraud, and you go to the county records and you've never seen one title? Never? Have you ever seen the title for an automobile? Never? Never. What is the title called on an automobile? It's not that. No, it's not. When they make the car and the car comes off the boat, what is it called? Oh my God, what is it called? What is it called? What is it called? Manufacturer Certificate of Origin. Even that is not a title. But you know what? You know what the closest thing to a title is that you can get where an automobile is concerned? A bill of sale. That's the closest to a title that you can get. Exactly. You have to surrender your bill of sale in order to register the automobile. Because that's what you do. Well, that's another thing. Everybody, our problem as a people is, and I did this, and I talked about it on the broadcast, I think 2 weeks ago. Let me ask you, how did you know that you had to register your car? How did you know you had to register your car? Your first car ever, you got it, you're so excited. Who told you? Who told you? The dealer? Okay, other than the dealer. But let's say the dealer didn't tell you. I mean, you're going to buy a car. Now, when the dealer said you got to register it, did you know that before the dealer told you? How did you know? Your parents? Your parents told you. Really? You bought a car and then you went to the DMV and you said, I bought a car, what do I do? Yeah. You did? How did you even know to go to the DMV? How did you know to go to the DMV? How did you know you needed insurance? Who told you that? What did you say? You followed everybody else. That's what we did. Now, don't feel shame, everybody. We all did it. We went and asked, yo, what do I do? Yo, what do I do? Never did we say, can I see the documentation? I want to know everything that I got to do. I want to know everything that I can and cannot do. Like, listen, you register. Nowadays, you buy a car, they say, you got to get the emission sticker. How do you know? But why? But what? Because they look at it. Because they say so. But what we never asked. But you still got to register your car, right? But did anybody ever tell you why? But I'm willing to bet, whoever told you, they said, it's the law. Right? It's the law. But how many of us have read the law on the motor vehicle program? How many people know that where is it written that you've got to register your car? Where is it written that you've got to have a driver's license? Where is it written that you've got to have insurance? You know what? I've been talking about this whole motor vehicle process, and you know what it sounds like to me? How many people have been in business for themselves? All right, you start business, right? What is it that every business must do in order to operate in a state? What you got to do? I heard it. Wait, what? No. I heard it over here. What did you say? Did you say something? Wait. Register. You got to register the business, right? So you start a business, you got to register it, right? And then you got to do what? No. License. And then we got to do what? Insurance. All right? So now, don't that sound like the motor vehicle program? It sounds like the motor vehicle program, right? So now, can we hypothesize that the presumption here is that we are being compelled to appear as though we are chauffeurs independently operating as a business. Right? That's what the presumption is? I had an epiphany about 3 weeks ago. I was saying it over and over and over again, and it was like the windows in my mind opened up, and I was like, that sounds like a business. That's what you have to do with a business. Now, what happens in a business if you can't pay your insurance? What? No. The operation of the business stops. What's the motor vehicle program? Sounds like the motor vehicle program, right? All right, let's get back to it. All right, so this is just a little sidebar. All the way to the back, baby. All the way to the back, my own county employees. And let me tell you something. You're so right. Because when these police employees pull us over, this is license and registration. Nobody knows. Well, according to Title 49, that doesn't apply to me. We don't know that. We get what we historically get. Angry, start cussing, want to fight, just like, unfortunately, Sister Sandra demonstrated. Feel good about yourself? Unfortunately, we do that. And we got to stop doing that. But I'm telling you that police that pulled that sister over, he had no remorse, because this is like heartless people. No remorse. All of them ain't like that, but there's some very jaded ones. They're like, I think personally, because I've experienced this in other fields, but when people burn out, time to go. Because I believe that when some of these people who work in these positions burn out, they need to be moved somewhere else. Because if they're not, they will take it out on the people. Well, then that means that his supervisors burnt out as well. I mean, and really, I'm going to tell you, and I know people are going to be like, girl, you are retarded. But I feel really bad for these police because they are made to be the fall guy, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. They're made to be the fall guy. And they demonstrate it all the time. When, these guys, they're doing what they're told. They're being set up. They tell them, go out there. We need you to make a quota by any means necessary. So because they want to keep their job, they go out there and they make the quota. Next thing you know, they're getting sued for something that they did because they were told by any means necessary, make a quota. And then they will be called to account for their actions, and the person who told them, don't make a quarter, with the I got nothing to do with him. I don't know why he did that. I didn't tell him that, because they didn't like nothing. Don't it sound like a game? Gangs in the book, right? Don't it sound like a game? How many of us have watched these gang movies where the top guy tells him, and he tells him, and he tells him, but he ain't never heard it from the top guy? And The Godfather, they showed you that. Michael Corleone got off because the guy who got him could never say, Michael told me to kill him. And that's the same position that a lot of these police are in. And I don't feel bad for them because they are being set up to take a serious hit. Yeah. And I know some of them, they really believe that they were taking on these jobs to protect the people. Yeah. But I can tell you right now, a lot of them, if they try to adhere to the Constitution, and if they get called to an area where they need backup, and they get and they call for backup, if they don't do what they're told, they will not send backup, and they will leave them out there to dry. So they're caught in a really bad place. Really bad. I would never want to be a police. Never. Because, that's a knife that's going to cut both ways. Never, never, never. Yes. And unfortunately, that's what's happening. But and for a lot of them, that's the only way they know how to get a paycheck. Oh, yeah, he sure does. This mic doesn't sound like it's really on. It is. Oh. Okay, you can hold it.
I'm sorry. my thing with what they said is that I did have
all of us have.
Okay, and you never now fight for me.
But you never asked either, right?
Because
you were in fear for your life.
No, my problem person.
But that don't mean nothing. I mean, come on, I'm in my proper person too. If I see flash your red lights behind me, I'm in fear for my life.
Here's the thing. I noticed it when it came out. When I noticed the cop was something no good, I noticed it. So I have no reason to kid him. Because I know that here comes the trickle. Yeah. So prepare myself. And that's what I did. So in the uniform thing, you got your head low, your eyes covered, and then you're speaking from your mouth. So I know I'm still doing it. So in turn, okay, what do you need? I need to, I don't have a contract with Jersey. I'm sorry, but I don't have a contract with Jersey.
Read the mic, please.
Okay. So I give you ID. I give you the show, man.
Oh.
And then I announce who I am. And you proceed to say, oh, you sorry? Yes, I am. So, yes.
Never talk about it.
See, I already knew. Wait a minute. I knew from the first word, because you talking about jurisdiction. What does juris mean? What does diction mean? I knew you had the wrong jurisdiction from the first word you said. And he knew it too. Yes, honey. No, you don't going that well. Because look, when we are, how many strong men? Now, you said that when he pulled you over, head down, and all this stuff, you knew you were dealing with an instrument. No, you wasn't. You were dealing with a flesh and blood human being. Now, he might have been representing a fiction, but he's a human being. And all of them are not out there trying to get people. I have had some really interesting encounters. Let me tell you, I was flying down the road. One time, because my baby was home alone, I was flying through right by a state trooper. He pulled me over and I said, what's going on, girl? What's fire? And I told him, my baby is home alone. I got to get home. He said to me, slow down and take your time and get home. So they're not all that. They're not all that. Now, I know you're going to be saying, well, you a sister for me. They absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You know why? Because they know historically that the brothers is always out there trying to prove something.
That's right.
And because of that, they say too much.
Yes, they do.
And less is what?
I gotta add something. This is so important. Please hear this. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Do not ever say you're a sovereign citizen. First of all, there's no place, no town, no nothing called sovereign city. So, I know why you said it, because sovereignty, but you agree on. But you agree, listen to me. A lot of hear ye again. For those in this room and for those who are listening, this is probably one of the most important things. They are now on this bandwagon of calling Moors who arrive to honor their mothers and fathers and to civilization principles sovereign citizens.
Yes.
Because the Europeans started a sovereign citizen movement.
Yes.
It doesn't work for them because they're not the sovereign up in here. They're the sovereign in Ireland if they're Irish. That's why I ask people what's their nationality. They look at me like, especially Europeans, like, what the hell am I talking about? You got one too, you know? So that's why when I'm talking about this today, when St. Patty's Day comes, they're supposed to be the Irish. That's their nationality then.
Yes.
You came over on Ellis Island, you came for a better life. What is your nationality? Because you weren't here. You're not the Aboriginal indigenous. Now listen. The sovereign citizen movement was Europeans attempting to be, modern Europeans, of American citizen rank, attempting to possess that same sovereignship that comes with one who has a nationality. And since they came over and didn't want to stay with their nationality, because they're Americans, until St. Patrick's Day comes, then they just don't call themselves sovereign. So they started the sovereign citizen movement that they found out would bust because they can't be the sovereign. Now, many Moors are being called, as soon as they pick you up, as soon as they stop you, that sovereign citizen here immediately rebuke that shit. Because sovereignty can only come with nationality.
Yeah.
It does not stand by itself.
Yes.
And so many of our brothers, more sons and sisters, are teaching each other to say, yeah, I'm a sovereign citizen. That's what they're looking for. People who don't know. And they know that, and somebody in their group, like an innocent, they do good in there, well, ain't no such thing as a sovereign citizen, but let's throw this on these more, and let them admit to that, so we can have reason we can try to justify ourselves as to why we gonna mess them up. Because they don't know. Because jurisdiction means right words. Saying you're sovereign like that is wrong word. There's no such jurisdiction as a sovereign land. Where is sovereign city at? It doesn't exist. So, as Ren Eden said 1,000 times, a lot of this stuff for these modern Europeans throw in the trash can because it doesn't work for them. All of a sudden they threw it out. To the Moors that are trying to rise, and their arrogance, ignorance, and lack of knowledge will have them rebuke their own family, giving them the right principles to go pick up the trash that the Europeans have dumped, because they think that in their mind that they're the authority. So when they say their code is got a sovereign citizen, you say, oh, no, I'm not putting no sovereign citizen because that's the sovereign citizen movement. They're writing stuff, trying to take Moors and put them into this sovereign citizen movement that has gone on by Europeans for years. They're trying to put you in that. No, you are not a sovereign citizen. Are you sovereign? Yes. If you claim your nationality, the two go together. That means you don't have to say you're sovereign. You just have to be. You have to say what your nationality is and then be, because you're the Aboriginal indigenous people of this land. So please, sons and daughters, and don't teach nobody to say that anymore. Anymore at all ever, all right?
Definition?
One last thing.
One last thing.
Resting your eyes. The fraternal order of police. All right, sons, brothers, listen to this. This is important too. Brothers, I'm talking to you that said you were sovereign. The fraternal order of police is in fact a fraternity. It is in fact a club. It is in fact like a gang. I mean, that's one of them are part of the FLP. They are a gang, whether they want to. And he just said it. They won't have their behinds covered if they don't do what somebody says. That stuff right there that they're doing, being showing you on TV, that's all clubism.
Yes.
You got to rebuke that crap. Now, one last thing. They come to you with the authoritative like they're your mama. They come with you because they are afraid of what they know your potential is. If you're ignorant and if you were at your highest height. The power that you have. So we have a very serious situation here. So what we want to wipe out is that there's these Europeans who have been raised up in school next to you. They don't know just like you don't know, some of them. But they just join the police force and, like that. You know what? Here's the fall guy, like that. Now, the only other thing is left for them to do is take sides, which they've done, in a way, and show that they've got guns and they're going to shoot you down in your community. That's their work. It is not law. But now here we are telling them that's not law, and then they're nervous. The nervous city say, this is the law. Did you take an oath to the Constitution? Don't you know what the law is?
Well, but really, to a degree, it is the law, and I'm going to bring that out. Can you please read the definition of certificate? I'm going to show you. No, not what they do is law, but what they're quoting is the law. It just doesn't apply to us.
Certificate, a document in use in the English Custom House.
Custom House. Did you hear that? Yes, say it again.
A document in use in the English Custom House. No goods can be exported by certificate. It's just foreign goods is formally imported, in which the whole or a part of the customs paid on importation is to be drawn back.
Now there's another line.
Assurance or official representation. A warrant.
There you go. A warrant. A warrant. Now, can you look up the definition of warrant, please? Because we looked up the definition of warrant before, right? But while he's looking it up, I want to just say this. He said that English law, right? English law, right? Now, the county, particularly New York, was established under where? Great Britain, and they was following what kind of law? So, that birth certificate, they get it from this county, which was established by Great Britain. Whenever the man you to get a birth certificate, it's practicing English law on American soil. All right? See, this is why the purpose of study is nothing. Just get you to thinking. If you ain't studying, you ain't got jack to think about. Right? If you ain't studying, you ain't got jack to think about, so you cannot free yourself from your mental enslavement. That's what this is all about. This ain't just about freeing the Moors. I'm going to tell you right now. Everybody is jacked up. Everybody is jacked up. I have talked to some non-Europeans on the phone and I have asked them their nationality, and they are just as clueless as we are. Clueless, don't even know. And the bad thing is, everybody has been trained to look to your father for your bloodline. Ain't no bloodline in the father. I'm sorry to tell you. Ain't no bloodline in the father. The bloodline is in the mother because everything comes out of the mother. And I proved it. I've been saying it for years, and then the universe sent me proof. My dad. Now, you just break this down real quick while he's looking up warrant. Now, the presumption that we have all been indoctrinated to believe is that when a child is created, it's got the blood of the mother and the blood of the father, right? So that means, and then when you go to the doctor, they say, I need your family history, I need your mother, your father. What's your mother's health? What's your father's health? Blah, 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 right? My grandmother never had diabetes. My mother never had diabetes. None of her sisters have diabetes. None of my siblings have diabetes. My cousins on my mother's side, from her two sisters, none of them have diabetes. No one in my grandmother's sisters and their children do not have diabetes. My father's mother had diabetes. My father and all his brothers and sisters have diabetes. All my cousins have diabetes. All of their children have diabetes. What's wrong with that picture? What's wrong with that picture, right? It's in the blood, right? And the blood comes from the mother. The bloodline is from the mother. Let me tell you what's so sad. This is why we're lost. We're not really lost. But there is a presumption that we're lost because we're one family. We're one mother's breasts have driven us stuck. So that means we're our family, right? But here's the crazy thing. We want to find our family. We want to be able to trace, where we come. We come from everywhere, but we want to get a line to trace. How many people have asked their father about his father and his father's father? How many have asked their father about what's your family like? How many? Most people ask their father. They never ask their mother. How many people have asked their mother? What did your mother tell you? Did she tell you about her mother, or did she tell you about her father? Your mother. Did she tell you about your great-grandmother?
My mother told me the information that I was asking about my father, it would be better for me to ask his mother to get that information.
To find?
Yeah, the lineage from his side.
It's so sad because I can go to my dad, and my brothers did this. My brother sat down with a video recorder, and he's recording my dad. My dad is talking about his father, blah, 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 blah. Never, and I was like, ask our aunt, because my aunt was younger than my dad. But we thought, well, she'll be here. So, we got time. My dad is older. He done had this experimental heart surgery that gives him another 2 years, right? But my aunt passed away. Now I'm trying to find out about my mother's line from my mother. My mother will tell you all about her father. What about grandmas? Well, I don't know nothing about them people. And that's what we've been conditioned. I have talked to so many of my Europeans. They have told a lot of them don't have their relationship with their mother. Some of them have to go and find the information from their grandmother. But even if they do have good relationships, because a lot of us don't have good relationships with our parents, that was part of the disconnect. All right? But then you go and ask their mother, and they will say, well, I was born on such and such. No, but where's your family? Where your mom come from? Well, I don't know. I'm an American. Well, where did you come from? Well, we've been here for 100 years. Well, where did you come from before 100 years? It's like nobody knows. Because it's really sad. Because when they came over here under the protection of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, it wasn't about wiping out your nationality. It was about clothing you with protection. But somewhere along the way, everybody got denationalized. No, it wasn't about the slave ship. Because this stuff has been happening for a long, long time. Because, even when you read the story of Roots, or watch TV, whatever, the history is told orally. Right? Orally. I would sit down with my grandmother and she would tell me. I never thought to ask her about her mother. And now she's gone. Third, I would make a trip to one of the islands, one of the Atlantis islands, to find my mother's lineage, which is going to be a trip. Because down in the islands, everything is about greens and palms. It's a trip. You can't get no information unless you come in loaded. It's a travesty. It really is a sad thing. But we have the birth certificate. The next entrant is a Social Security account number. What comes after that for a newborn child? What naturally comes later? What? Immunization? All right. Now, this comes from where? Hospital/clinic, right? And what is that? Corporation. I want you to see the theme. That is, we got a corporation here for the birth certificate. We got a corporation here for the Social Security. We got a corporation here for the immunization from the hospital. What did you say? The what? What's that? Oh, no, but we're talking about the infant. We're trying to show a natural progression from birth to death. So now we got the immunization. Now, why are we doing the immunization? Okay, but this is an infant. It's an infant. How did we get to... All right, so then the natural progression from immunization would be what? Really? Y'all need state identification as a child to go to school? Come on now, we trying to do chronologically. All right, so we got immunization, so the next thing would be what? School, all right? It's really... I'm going to say institution, school, because it really doesn't exist.
And there was a day when we did not, in fact, when we had used to go into school, we all know that.
Nope. I know that. Yep.
But now we're getting ready to do these ideas.
Yep. Yeah. Well, there's a whole big discussion going on about the whole so-called state identification. Did you know that the number has increased from, I think, 5 to like 19 or 23, where they will, the Fed, the so-called federal jurisdiction, will not accept the state identification? Now they so-called state identification. Why is it not an identification?
We've been telling people for years. I know that.
Where's the mic? Exactly. No nationality. No nationality. Thank you. No nationality. Has no nationality. And you know what's crazy? Everybody is running
they don't get wrong. No. Passport. And I had a brother give the cards. He did the book for the cards. Well, they're not accepting that anymore. They said, no, that's not identification.
Well, wait a minute, hold on. Aren't they not accepting at the airports they're going to this thing that they're these states a certain amount of time? They're not accepting the driver's license as identification on airplanes?
Yeah.
It never was.
That's right. Now, I'm going to tell you something about the passport. Everybody's running. You know, I was at it's very disturbing to me. I was at the post office, and I saw this lady with, toddlers, just not even learning to walk, to stand up. And I swear to God, it looked like an auction. She was filling out some papers. Post office now. She put her baby to stand up on the counter, and the postal clerk took out a tape measure, measured it. I was like, what is that? What is that? Measure the baby, and then wrote it down. And so, I know he's a father. When I finally got to the room, I was like, what is that? And they told me, passport. That's a passport. I said, what are they measuring the baby on a passport for? And what's crazy? And know yourself. Listen, you ain't got to be butting into people's affairs. But you just listen. Eyes open, ears open. I heard the sister say that her parents, her lineage line, she comes from Jamaica. I'm like, what the hell is she giving a passport for her baby for? What really blew my mind was when the postal clerk took out the paper out and measured the baby. I was like, what is going on? I would be in serious trouble if I had a child today. I swear I would, because I would not be doing that. We would have to go to war. Yes, we would have to go to war, because that looked like some slavery business to me. Wait. Yes. Yeah, passport for the baby. I'm like, why is she getting a passport? No, she was at the post office. You only get a United States of America passport. Because if she's going to get a passport for Yamaka, or Jamaica, which is a corporation, because the Aboriginal indigenous name is Yamaka. And the Yamaka is the home of the Arawak family, all right, under the Moorish nation. So Jamaica is a corporate name. Trinidad is a corporate name. Tobago is a corporate name. All Puerto Rico is a corporate name. What else? Philippines is a corporate name. All of these, Russia is a company name. All of these are company names. They're not land masses. It's all about the lineage. See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to claim the baby. They're saying, oh, this is just sold. Just sold. Oh, we're claiming this baby because it was born on this part of the land. We're claiming that. Well, wait a minute. If you look at this case law, and I'm going to find it because we talked about it like way back in 2010. What's that, 5 years ago? Yeah. It's almost like I found, it's not really case law, it's a statute. And it's in the federal law, the federal code, and it says something, I can't remember the exact word, but it says if we find a person abandoned, they will claim it. I was like, wow. How do they justify abandon? Now, see, I'm not even trying to trip on the mother's girl. I know some of these things are just chopping up and doing, oh, she abandoned us. She signed that birth certificate. She abandoned us. No, she did not. Stop saying that. We are one family. It's about uplifting fallen humanity, not keeping it down, and she is fallen humanity. Stop saying that.
Something. So the Jamaican sister, or Yamaka, and she had known that she is already in the American.
She's already American.
And she would know that she doesn't really need a passport. But because she, like me, and Korean don't know that, there's this passport or some protections internationally, and RVBey was talking about it on Saturday, for stateless purpose. He was saying that, like, for instance, the people that got murdered by the policy enforcers, you know, who out in the streets stopping people, and then they just shoot people. Like, what the hell is that, right? What's his name? What's his name? Michael and all that. They getting married for murder. Where? Yes. My point is that he was saying, and I thought I wasn't going to qualify when he did. He was saying that, gee, at least if they had said they were stateless persons, they might have found some protection that's supposed to be Negro, colored, and black. Not that we should be stateless, but he's saying that there is international protection for people who consider themselves stateless. And the reason it brought to me, so we were talking about this passport, an ID, and that world passport, it's still stateless people. Mm-hmm. And so as Moors, we're not stateless people, so we might never apply for those passports at all.
That's right, you don't. But here it is. I'm coming to you. Here it is. What are they challenging when they say, oh, you got to have a license to travel here, there?
They're lying.
What are they saying?
Lying.
No, lying. What is that saying?
They're lying.
Are they hindering your right to travel? We got to keep it simple. We got to keep it in the law. And we got to keep it in areas that we can produce documentation. For example, did you know that in the Constitution, I want to say Article 2, Section 8, it talks about how you can't, like when you are at, because see, this is all, Connecticut was a fort. You know that, right? When it was established, it was a fort. And the people lived in the fort, and it was protected. And then they had, if they wanted to leave the Connecticut fort and go to, like, the New Jersey fort, they had to pay $10. Was that not hindering your right to travel? Well, that got abolished. It's in the Constitution. That is your right to travel. Guess what else that is? That's not just your right to travel in terms of license and registration. That's also tolls. And to support the toll extortion, in the Constitution as well as other schools of Confederation, it says that your ingress and regress cannot be inhibited. That means your ingress and regress is just traveling on the land. And it says in there that cannot be hindered. Yet, if I want to travel crazy, if I want to travel on the land passing by the Brooklyn Corporation or the Queens Corporation, these are all corporations, or the New York Corporation, I got to pay an extortion fee. If I want to travel past the New York Union State Corporation to the New Jersey Union State Corporation, I am extorted of my energy. And that's a constitutional violation. It's in the Constitution. That's why it's us. I mean, you know, it's so disheartening. I can't watch news. I don't know about y'all. I cannot watch this propaganda that they call the news because they so blatantly show you all day long we're violating the rights and liberties of the people. Yes, we are. doing the electric slide, violating the rights of the people, and they can't do a thing because we educate them and they don't know yet, and we laughing all the way to the bank. That is the propaganda for the news and people watch it every day. Like they're being informed. And they just love it in your face.
And the things that they find important, you know, when you really know, have information, and you listen to the newscasters and the stuff they report, and talk about being corny. I mean, it's beyond corny. It's like, wow. They really think they live on a, you know, they live in La La Land.
Let me ask you this, because I am with y'all. I am right there with y'all. How many people remember when that show, Cops, came out? Wasn't y'all all in front of the TV? Dancing to the music, yeah, Cops coming on, the baby, what you say, what you say. When I got this information, I was like, oh, I can't watch this. I can't watch this no more. Then they had another show called Replay. I was like, man, they make shows, they be rubbing it on in your face. Look, y'all so dumb.
Trying to make you think it's law.
Y'all so dumb. Slow walk. Slow walk. Now you talk to some people, and you say, you know, you ain't got to. Like my encounter with the little Latino girl at the Department of Motor Vehicles. You don't know the law? What's the law? You don't know the law? But she don't know it either. She didn't know it either. She couldn't tell me. Hold on, let me transfer you. Wait a minute, why are you transferring me? Why don't you just tell me? You don't know the law? Got a little stink attitude. I could see her in my mind. You don't know the law with the head and everything. I could see it. She had that kind of fake attitude. But I was like, no, see, I got a mission. I'm trying to gather some information. She didn't know the law. The person she transferred me to, the law, legal department, they didn't know the law either. They transferred me to the legal department, too. Real deserve. One was talking, the other one was over her shoulder. Tell her to go to the library. Tell me to go to the state library. Oh, you can go to the state library, but they might not help you. Tell her to go to the court have libraries. Oh, you can go to the court. They have libraries, but it's not open to the public. That's what they taught. I swear I should have recorded that call. I swear to God I should have. Well, here's the thing, what I learned from that. All these people talking about it's the law don't know the law. They can't tell you the law, and they can't direct you to the law, and they can't give you a copy of the law. Because it's not the law. It's not the law, because I'm going to tell you right now, we have been doing some studying of Title 49, which is the federal motor vehicle program. It's up underneath interstate commerce. Y'all engaging on some interstate commerce? But it's up underneath interstate commerce. It was started in 1887, and guess who designed it? Passenger cars. Railroad passenger cars. They dropped the railroad and just put, are you a passenger? Not in no railroad. But if they pull you over, can I have your passenger's identification? They're not a passenger. This is not a train. You had a question, I'm sorry. Very long-winded.
All right, so how does a few travel without a passport go down too?
Well, first of all, let me just, I just want to give one more piece of information.
I didn't have sex. I'm sorry.
Wait. I'm sorry. Have I asked that same question? And you know what?
Excuse me, hold on. And you know what I was told? You know what I was told when I asked it? I'm going to give you the answer that a very astute person told me. They said, oh, how do you go where you want to go when you don't have to. They said, get in, take the key, open the door, get in the car, turn it on, and navigate. They did, and I thought that was crazy. All the way home, I was, complaining. No, not true. That's not true. Several times on my national identification card that I offer, that we at RVBey offer, it is not true. The reason people are getting denied is because they don't know what they have. They don't know how to carry it. They don't know how to utilize it. And it really is not in their heart, in their soul, in their spirit. That's why the prophet said to you, your national identification card is going to change in your pocket as soon as you find out who the hell you are. Start acting like, this is going to work. This is the state ID. Yes, it's the state ID. Moorish nation say. It's the government ID. Yes, it's the government ID, whichever one you want to check. Where'd you get it from? My national family. When we start talking like that, instead of acting like we really aren't sure because this group over here, these corporations are the authorities, as soon as we drop that, and so I just want to say it's not true. And I can say that because I've done it a couple of times, and even the universe always guides us. Even when people were talking about I can't go into a court or fair court with it. Well, it just so happens that same week someone asked me to go to a court with them. And I had the ID, and I was expecting something. I got nothing. But so no one's going to tell me that they don't accept it when we are operating with it without those problems. There's something wrong. You can only be what you know. What if one of these the ship that needs to pass the port? Is you a ship? That's right. What it is, I'm going to tell them. You know, why is your car, bro? No, they try it instead of apply it. There's a difference. Right. There's a difference. Look, here's the thing. This is all about, look, I got a few things I need to finish so that I can wrap this up. When we talk about this whole media propaganda, if you watch it, everything you see is the people, the masters, asking the servant. Everything in there is the master asking the servant. That's the wrong way. All right? Then you get these employees of these county corporations talking about people think they're above the law. No. They're not above the law. They are, in fact, the law. All right? And because you are employees of a corporation, you are obligated to follow the law of this land, not England, because this is American soil. This is not English soil. There is no, I don't know where English soil is because the land that they're presuming to be England is Great Britain, British Moors, all right, Britain, all right? That's not England. That's Britain, home of the British Moors, all right? So, when you watch this media, we are displaying to the world that we don't know that the servants have overthrown the masters, and let's put things back in order so that this can once again be a land, land of the free, home of the brave. Let's put it back together again, because the only way that that's going to happen is if we all join hands and enforce that Constitution, and if we have to, let's clean the house. All right? I just want to ask, you had said the British Moors couldn't do
British.
Yes, British.
Oh, well, that was their nickname because they were so British. British and brutal. Well, let me just say one other thing. Everybody who, if you know anybody who has one of those card passports, or even the booklet passport, they do have a nationality section in there. Has anybody seen that? I have seen it. Guess what the nationality is?
listed on there as the nationality, USA. Is that a nationality? No. Now, let me tell you what's crazy about this. USA can mean anything. That could be the United States of America. It could also be Unity, Salvation, Allah. It could also be unification. It could, wait a minute. By the way, as always, I don't deal in acronyms. And Moors do not deal in acronyms ever, because an acronym / initials can mean anything, and it falls under presumption, speculation, and from my mouth, unnecessary conversation. I ain't got time to waste like that. I'm here to enforce the Constitution. I ain't got time to be explaining, A period ill. What's that? Is my abolition. So you are A period ill. That's an unnecessary conversation. So let's just wrap this up. Institution. We have the birth certificate, which comes from the county, which is a corporation. And the county is established, in this case, New York City, under a charter of 1686, from Great Britain, Charles II. Social Security. Social Security account number comes from Social Security Administration. That is a corporation. Then we have the immunization from hospital/clinic. Hospitals are all corporations. Then we have these institutions, and I put in brackets school, because they are not school, so that don't really appear. Now, the institutions that they call schools, what are they? Your trick question. What are they? What are they? Who said Roman babies? Can you prove that? Can you prove that? You got to say stuff that can be documented and proven. All right? Most of the time, the schools are established under what? The county, right? Now, in business, that would make it a sub-corporation, right? Keyword, corporation. Right? Now, with these institutions they call school, they say, oh, you have to send your child to school. It's the law. Right? Anybody ever ask for the law? Because it doesn't exist. You know why? Because if this institution that is called a school falls under the jurisdiction of the county, and the county is and the so-called school is a corporation established under the charter, in this case, New York City, 1686, by Great Britain, Charles II. Doesn't the Constitution protect the people from every last one of these corporations? So how can it be the law? It's never process to do you must enforce the Constitution so that you are not molested. That's right. Other citizens and those corporations of other citizens. That's right. And I can tell you up north, all of the schools were established by charters because they are what? And all corporations back in the 1600s, 1700s were established by what? Charter. And today, a charter is called what? Business plan. Business plan tells you what you're going to do, what you can do. And that's why you always ask for a delegation of authority. Because if you ask for a delegation of authority and they're a government proper, they have to produce, in this case, a court, they have to produce some sort of certified documentation from Congress, and if they don't produce that, they got to produce the charter.
But everybody's always looking for the realization of Congress. They show, maybe the delegation of the power. We don't even answer. That's good. Because if they didn't give you a delegation of authority as Congress, law, proper, they automatically default to what? A corporation. Which means if they are a corporation, who must they register with? The state. And if you're registered with the state to do business, that means that you can go to the state and put in a complaint. Right? So nobody does. You go to the state and you put in a complaint. What happens if the complaint gets too high? All corporations must have what? If the complaints get too high, what happens? And if you can't have insurance, strategy. And this is why the prophet said, if I could just control the study, this is non-government. Now, let me just show, because we're going to continue this, because there is something that comes after this institution called school. We're going to try and chronologically establish this. But, in looking at this, does anybody see government in here? Does anybody, from birth certificate, because I get so pissed when Moor show they're not studying. Like, how you know that they might say we got to go get a birth certificate? Where is that documented? Where is that? They trading it on the stock market. Where is that documented? I'm going to take control of the straw man. Now you are co-conspirator to your own enslavement. I'm going to take control of the strong man. I'm going to put all of this, and then you put, now, let me tell you something. It is one thing to put crap out there under the nom de guerre. Because under the nom de guerre, you don't know jack. You are a minor, incompetent. Put all that crap out there. Sugar in Put it all out there. But once you go and declare your nationality, and you slap a RVBey on your affirmation, and you start putting trash out there, man, you're coming to the slaughterhouse. You're sending out invitations. Come on and slaughter me. Come on and slaughter me. Because I'm so not studying, I need the universe to send me back so I can come back knowing. Because that's what's going to happen. These people is moving finance all across the board. All right? They will put you in the... Look, I was watching Monique. Did y'all know she did a concert in the prison? Women's prison. I never knew that. She was in the prison with a whole bunch of women. Moorish women, non-European women, all of them in there. For stupid crap. They didn't take a life and they got 140 years. 140 years. And they didn't even take a life. You got murderers out on the street in less time than that. You got rapists. You got rapists out on the street for less time than that. Hell, you be hard-pressed to put somebody behind bars who raped someone. But you got these women in prison, and they didn't even take a life for 140 years. That is crazy. You know why they're in there for 140 years? $10,000 per day. Because it's a fraud. They submit documentation that says that these people is in long-term disability, LTD. The same as they do with people who are in convalescent homes. They submit documentation that says they're in here, because, everything is prepaid because the people are the principal. They get the money, the credit, because there ain't no money. They get the credit just because people live and breathe. The people have become the commodities because they don't know no better. And they submit back to the station, you giving them some long-term disability. Yeah, they're going to be housed here. We need you to send us some money because we're going to be taking care of them. I swear to God, you don't believe we do the research. And they submit long-term disability. Have you ever seen some of these prisons these people live? The stench is awful. Women's prisons are the worst. Because a lot of them don't have no running water. A lot of them, the plumbing is broken. They ain't trying to prove it. They got the toilets overflowing on the floor, and the cells where the sisters are supposed to be sleeping. But they're getting $10,000 a day. What they doing with it? Pocketing it. Same thing with these people. Many of the employees of these people have pooled their finances and built the prison. So, not only are they getting paid because they send you something saying, I need you to send me some money, at least twice a year. If you have a house, you know what I'm talking about, right? Property taxes. I need you to send me some money. If you don't send me some money, I'm going to come take your stuff. Sound gangster to me? Sound gangster to me? Now, if you don't pay the money, the demand for income, they will take your stuff anyway, and then they will throw you in the prison that they built, and they'll send a request for funds to take care of you, and never use the money to take care of you and put it in their back pocket, and be laughing all the way to the bank. But these are the same people that I people go to, can you certify my birth certificate so I can take control of the straw man? These are the same people. Wake up, you sleepy-headed boys. Wake up. There's mom. Wasn't that beautiful? That was great. We got to close out though. It was always so much fun. Brother Ali, it's good to see you. You look well. Yes. We're going to do an invocation out next week. Brother RVBey will be here doing etymology and reading, or reading and etymology, whichever way makes it so comfortable for you. So be here for that very interesting class. You all right, brother? All right. Let me clip you up a little bit, and then you can just put that in your pocket or somewhere. Clip it on you. There you go. Yeah, put it in your pocket. There you go. All right.
Islam. Bow on the left, two on the right, repeat after me. Allah. Father of the universe. Father of love. Truth. Peace. Freedom. Justice. Allah is my protector. God and my salvation. By night and by day. Through his holy prophets. Through Ali. Also known as Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali. Amen. Peace and love. Anybody for the first time?